I'm not sure if I'm lost. I seem to be in some sort of residential area. So a couple of days ago, right, in the previous episode, I went to go look for a gift for my dad for his birthday in the next couple of days, and I didn't find anything. Right? But later that evening, I did manage to order something online, right? And I mean, I didn't tell you what it is, and I'm probably still not gonna tell you. And you know the reason why, because my dad watches these vlogs, and I don't want him to know what I got him. Yeah, anyways, so that gift has arrived, and by arrived I mean it hasn't like been delivered to me. I need to go pick it up. And it could have been delivered to me, but they said they're gonna charge me a delivery fee of 70 rand. And then I was like, nah, leave it, because it will cost me much less to just go pick it up and come back home, so yeah, I need to go and fetch that now. But the only problem is, like, I don't know where this store is. Like, I know the location of it, but I'm not sure, like, is it inside a shopping center, or is it outside the shopping center? I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna see now. I'm not sure if I'm lost. I seem to be in some sort of residential area. But yeah, I think I'm gonna phone them and ask. Okay, so I found them and they gave me directions. I found the place, so yeah. Right, so I picked up the gift. Um, it looks good. They all look the same. They all look the same. Doesn't matter what store you buy them from. But anyways, I have something important to talk about today, right? And the topic for that important thing is called gimbal. Right. So if you know what a gimbal is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you don't know what it is, I'm gonna put the Google definition up here on screen. And a gimbal is used, like, it can be used with many different instruments, right? For example, a compass or whatever. But in my case, it's a camera, right? So when you're recording a video, right, and you have your camera or your smartphone in your hand or whatever, and it's you moving around, the camera is moving a lot, right? And you want to keep the camera as still or as stable as possible, so that the image or the video that's been taken is completely still, and the people watching it can watch it with ease. They don't want to see footage that's really shaky. You try your best to keep the camera as still as possible so there's no shake or anything, but sometimes it's really difficult. Sometimes you want to move the camera left or right, or sometimes you move it like up or down, whatever the case is, and you're doing that all with your hands. So you have the camera here, you're moving it left to right or up or down or whatever, and your goal is to keep the camera or phone as straight or as still as possible, so that the image or video that's being taken is very still and not shaky, so it's easy for the viewers to watch, right? When you're vlogging, it's okay to be shaky because you're holding the camera up here in your face and you're moving, so it's gonna shake. But when you're shooting like b-roll or slow motion shots, as you've seen in some of my videos, I do like b-roll and slow motion shots, etc. You try not to make the footage shaky. You want the b-roll or the shots you're taking to be as still as possible, as good as possible. And if it shakes, it just looks less professional, and also it makes like the whole shot a little less quality. No matter how sick the shot might be, it's gonna make it less quality because it's shaky, unless it's intended to be shaky. Right, and gimbals come in all shapes and sizes. Obviously, the bigger the camera, the bigger the gimbal. And if you go to a movie set or something, they have really big gimbals, and this really keeps the camera as still as possible. That's why when you see these scenes of like an intense car chase or something, the camera is moving a lot, but it's not shaking. The footage isn't shaky or anything like that. It's still, but it's moving, you know. And just imagine they didn't use a gimbal. Imagine how shaky the footage would be. It would be really really hard to watch the movie or watch the video because you wouldn't see much. All you'd see is a shake. You know what I mean? So some typical ones you'd use for B-roll shots and stuff with smaller cameras like mirrorless cameras or DSLR cameras. You'd use a gimbal that looks something like this. And when it comes to shooting movies or whatever, those cameras are really big and really heavy. And they use really large gimbals that's like not only like a small thing you hold in your hand, it's a really big rig that you attach to your body or you attach to something so that the shot comes clear, right? And it looks something like this. So in simple terms, a gimbal just makes your footage very stable and less shaky and more smooth, right? And the reason why I'm telling you this is because I purchased a really small C-shaped or U-shaped handheld gimbal. It wasn't very expensive. That's the reason I bought it. It's very affordable. And obviously, my first choice would be a motorized gimbal, one that looks like this, right? Where it has a motor, and I know no matter how much I move, it will keep the camera and the image as still as possible, right? But unfortunately, those are really expensive. They range from starting price like I think 5,000, some of them 15, 20,000, depends on which one you get, right? Now that's way completely out of my budget, but this one is more in my budget. But unfortunately, this is not a motorized one; it's a handheld one. So you hold it with your hand, you put the camera on top here, you screw it in, and you basically you move around, right? And it's pretty much easy because you get to hold the top and get all the shots you want, panning up and down or whatever it is. And I could just stick with normal handheld footage, but the thing is, I don't know if you watch some of my slow motion B-roll shots or whatever it may be. You can see sometimes there's a camera shake and sometimes there isn't. I try really hard to keep my hands and body really still when I'm taking a shot, but sometimes, even the slightest of movement is very noticeable. And sometimes I have to retake the shot 3 or 4 times. And then when I get home and I'm editing, I have to watch all those 3 or 4 clips and I have to choose the one that's the least shaky, you know. But I can't just sit here and talk about the gimbal. I have to show you. So here is some of me using the gimbal. So I hope you could see a small difference, even if it's a really small difference in less shake. Anyways, that was today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and I shall see you soon.